Good evening, everyone. I'm Christina Milak, and this is Life in Practice and the Green Week of the European Union. And our event tonight is about green awareness in everyday life. I planned for you about the 1.5 hour training session. You can learn about more the European Union green policy and how you can apply things in your everyday life easily. So I will show you slides. I am sharing my screen for you now. I hope everyone is ready and live. Let's see. I hope you can see my slides. So let's see the first one, and we can go through what we will learning tonight. So as I mentioned, every small green action is matters. So we can learn tonight about why is important the environment protection, about the plastic pollution, about the European Commission environmental policy, and the three main pillars of their goals. That's biodiversity, a circular economy, and zero pollution strategy. So, and also, and the main point, we are here today to gain and learn more green awareness in everyday life and learn useful practice which you actually can apply in your everyday life. So I hope you're ready and excited as I am. So let's jump in and start with the plastic pollution and why I picked this topic today, because in environmental protection is the most important is the plastic pollution reduce, because as you see in globally every year the human beings producing 400 million tons plastic per year, which is a tremendous amount combined to the amount what we produced in 1950. It was only 1.5 million tons, and now it's 400. So that's the reason I picked plastic and put the focus tonight on it, because we have to stop using that much plastic and producing that much plastic, and I will tell you why. The problem with plastic is during the production, it's lots of chemical they're using for it, and that's going into the nature. And also during the production, using lots of water. For example, for one plastic bottle, water which we're filling after with water, we're using 6 times of the water for producing this plastic bottle, which we actually putting in it. So that's a bit mad. So we have to stop this soon as possible. And also, the plastic is breaking down for micro and nanoplastic, and most of them it's going to the air, soil, and the water, which is very bad for the biodiversity and also for the human health. So if we want to improve our health in the future, we have to stop using plastic in this way than we're using nowadays, because effect on our health very badly. And as you see, globally, this amount of plastic, the 400 million tons, we can recycle only 10%. That's really, really low. And we have to do everything to increase this number. Thank goodness in EU that's already 13%, but we still can do more. And what we're using for the plastic, you can see most of them for packaging, almost 40% for packaging. So we will discuss this today later, why it's important to stop products which packed in plastic, as you see, because most of the plastic production is going to be a package which we have to stop. So let's see the next slide. And the question is where those plastic is going. Unfortunately, going into our soil, our air, and our waters, rivers, sea, and the ocean as well. It's a big problem with plastic. Then they breaking down for little pieces and going to be a macro and nanoplastic. And fish can eat, they can't select which is their normal food and which plastic, so they just eat the plastic. And if you eat regular fish, then you just eat the plastic which is in it. Its effect on the human health very badly, as just like in the biodiversity. As you can see in this picture, the different products, how many years they disappearing in the natural environment. Of course, the vegetables and the fruits, it's only 2 months they will appear from the soil or transforming, but it's better if we using the food composer, and then we can use it for actually what they meant to, and reusing in this way, not putting in a normal bin. And all other plastic waste products, in estimated disappearation, it's about 450 years or even more, 600. This is an estimation because humankind is producing plastic only 60, 70 years, so we haven't got a data for it. So maybe they never even disappear fully. And when they contact soil, air, and water, they are toxic also going into, and in a nano way, so we cannot even see them. So if we wanna prevent to look our beaches like that, and we wanna continue our good life and healthy life and doing sport activities in the nature, then we have to do action today. So let's see now what the EU can offer to us nowadays and what kind of goals they invented for reducing and preventing plastic pollution and other bad effects on the environment. So as I mentioned, these three main goals. One of is the biodiversity strategy, which will be the goal they want to reach till 2030. I think that's a little ambitious, but it still is good, the strict deadline. So we're already a bit late. So I think that's a necessary, this date. And the biodiversity strategy mainly focusing on how we can rebuild and protect the natural environment. So for this, the EU mainly established the Natura 2000. Just a second. 2000 areas where they collecting all the natural areas in the European Union, which they definitely want to keep safe and improve back their natural way. You can find more information about the Natura 2000 areas if you're searching for it. It's very important to be protecting those areas because we cannot recover after it's too late. Also, the biodiversity strategy launching an EU natural restoration plan. So in this plan, also EU first ever nature restoration law being included, which is very important to support those plans and strategy in a lawful way, so will no harm on humankind and the biodiversity as well. They also implemented 2 online tools, so you can track online the actions, what they doing up to date, and also a target dashboard. So if you're interested in what the EU doing during the biodiversity strategy, you can always have a look. There will be up-to-date information, so you can follow. The next main goal is a circular economy, which is very important because at the moment, EU customers, citizens, use 14 tons of raw materials per year, which is tremendous amount, and producing 5 tons of waste each year. With the circular economy system or model, the EU want to change the traditional linear economic model. When you got the raw material, producing a product, the customers using, and then when they use, it's putting on the waste, and it will be a waste we're not using anymore. So we want to change this because this is absolutely not eco-friendly. We want to change for the circular one, then we can reduce the using new raw material and design products which can use recyclable material, and then reuse them or repair them. And I'll show you the next slide because there is a nice picture which you can follow more. So circular economy is the raw material going in, then as you see, sustainable design, then a production and distribution is also important to be green. And then they can reuse or repair the product. It's very important. Recollect them is also very important. And then the recycling part. So in this way, we can use new raw material. So we can use less raw material and produce less waste and fewer the emission, which is also very important. So that's the new way of production, the circular economy. Let's see the next and last goal of the European Union, the green goals. That's zero pollution. Pollution harms our health and our environment. That's the reason we have to put a focus on it. And the EU have zero pollution vision for 2050, when the air, water, and soil will be pollution free. For this goal, they targeted key factors till 2030. So even a stricter deadline, because it's 2050 will be way too late. We have to act now. So in this strategy, the EU want to improve the air quality, the water quality, the soil quality, and also focusing on the transportation noise. We have to decrease the noise, because this is not good for the human being and not good for the natural environment as well. And I don't have to mention it, reducing waste generally, especially from the consumer side. In the cities, we have to reduce the waste, what we're producing. As I mentioned, it's every European citizen producing average 5 tons of waste each year. We have to reduce that. And now we can change for our main topic today, which is a green awareness, and why is that important, and how can you improve and use it for in your everyday life. So I can start with what is really the individual can do, and why is that important. As you can see in this picture, we have 3 main fields when we're talking about environment. That is our planet, nature. There is the companies and who's producing products, and there are the people. There are us, the citizens. We are a very big factor who can affect on the environment very greatly. So that's the reason each European or non-European citizen, people, should have improved their green awareness. and using in an everyday life, because your effect on the environment greatly. Each people affect every day. So how can you do that? How can you affect in a good way, not in a bad? That is the question. First of all, it's important you collect relevant informations. Nowadays, with social media and so on, it's lots of fake news and information flowing. So we have to be aware and filter them and see through which is actually true, which one can help improve our and others' life. Also, beware of companies nowadays really like to do greenwashing. So even they advertising, they got green and so on. You have to dig in and search for it. Is that's true, or they just greenwashing, and that's far from the truth. All right. So also you can search and collect relevant information in that topic as well. When you realize what is out there and how you're affecting on the environment each day, then you can, using the awareness and think about what do you really need. We will talking about that soon, a little further. So the main things when you practicing awareness, not just dream on, in general, you can cleaning your mind, selecting your thoughts. So is there any fear, any negative thoughts and feelings? You can learn easily how you can select them, transfer them for positive, or just let them go if you don't need it. For this, you have to be in a present. So when you're in a present and you selected your thoughts and feelings, then you're able to focus and do your part. And if you're doing your part as a daily green actions, then you can become a good example and other people can follow you. For this, all of this, it's very important. We also let go our judgment and do not judge anyone, because we also can be aware of people in a different stage in life. They have different information, different knowledge, and we have to be patient. And if they need, we can be there for them and help them to be aware and to be able to practicing daily green actions. Okay, and with this, helping to others or anyway, even after 20-something years, I still can learn new things almost every day about green daily actions. So there is always place to learn new things. So being aware, it's also mean you being open-minded and you live with open eyes and searching for the new relevant information, what you can apply to your everyday life. Also, you can review what you're practicing. For example, maybe what I practiced 10 years ago, it's out of date, and there is now a much better solution for it. So time to time, you can review your practice, your methods, and apply new ones, more efficient ones. So now we can go through a couple of main topics in life, in everyday lives. What effect on what we using things and thinking about things every day. So we're going through those topics, and I give you a couple of tips. How can you be more green aware? Let's see. So the first and main is shopping. General about shopping is the importance of, as I mentioned before, it's very important you buy just things what you really need. Not because you just saw in some advertising and they make you feel you want that thing. Okay, so that's the main thing. If you just buying the stuff you really need, like food, clothes, really basic things, you will be happy, and you know you will not destroying our environment. Okay, so as you can see in the picture, people even can fight each other for, I don't know, this maybe a television, I'm not sure. I'm not owning television in 15 years now, and I'm perfectly happy with it. So what we really need is food and home, and the others, it's all just a plus. So be aware what you buying. That's the first thing. So always measure you really need, or just someone or something it makes you feel you can't leave these things without these things anymore. Okay, so that's the first. So simplicity in shopping, that means you're just buying the stuff what you really need. For example, your running shoes is not usable anymore, then and you want to keep running, then obviously you need a new shoes. That's absolutely fine. But you don't need 5 pairs in different colors, perhaps. So let's see the next one. Where are you shopping? All you need is bags, always. So, for example, I can show you. Let me show you a couple of different. So this plastic bag, what you usually got in the shop. Say no for that, because in every minute in the world globally, 1 million plastic bag people buying and using only average 15 minutes, which is a madness thing. So say no for plastic bags, and you can put in your bag or car or whatever a bag which you always can use. So that's also I think not 100% natural, maybe that's plastic too. but I think I bought it 10 years ago or something like that, or 5, I can't remember, but I'm still using it in my bag, so I can use it and I don't need this full plastic bag. But if you want to go one step further, you can use a bag which is made from natural material, and you definitely can use that bag. It's 50 years old now and I still love it. So you can use it, just put in your bag. You can bring it, that's always in my bag. So anytime when I'm shopping, grocery shopping or other, I'm just picking up from my bag and I don't have to use another plastic again. And if that ever damaged, will disappear in 5-10 months, naturally, not 500 years, okay? That's different and it's very important. All right, let's see the next one. If you grocery shopping, now these people using this one, it's horrible. It's again using for 15 minutes and then throwing away and making plastic mountains, waste mountains. Say no for this. And you can buy almost now at every shop this, I think that's also plastic, but you can use not just once for 15 minutes, you can use for years. Okay, so that's one step further from the totally plastic one, which you can use once. So this was a second step, and the third step, then you can use bag, which is from a natural material. I think that's 100% cotton. So you can use this for years, and if ever damaged, it will be naturally gone for about 5-10 months. Okay, so say no for plastic bags. And I always have those tools in my bag. So every time I'm going to shopping, especially grocery shopping, then I don't have to use any extra plastic. The other things, I'm going back to the slides. Just give me a second to share my screen again. Here we go. So after the bags, we can discuss about the packaging. So beware when you're shopping what kind of packages in your products what you want to buy, because worldwide all the plastic production, so that's 400 million tons, you remember, the 40% of the plastic production is packaged. It's horrible. So when you buy any product, please check before you want to buy what they packaging in. And if it's plastic, just say no and try to find a company who's using natural package and no plastic. Okay, and then other things about shopping. It's very important where the products came from. So, especially grocery shopping. If that's from a different continents, you know, for example, avocado. I don't eat avocado because it's not a local vegetable, but I can say a lot of product which is not local and is alternative products like that. It's available locally or at least Euro-wise. And you can reduce the eco footprint by looking behind the product and collect more information about it before you buy. So it's important about the package and important where they came from. Okay, so in this way, you can reduce a lot of negative pollution and it didn't cost you anything. Okay, just 2 minutes to searching for and look at. Okay, so that's about shopping generally. Now we can go a little deeper, and one of my favorite topics is clothing shopping and fast fashion. Because 100 years ago, shopping, it wasn't a thing what people just do for fun. They went shopping because they needed something. And now people go into shopping just for fun and buy stuff, especially clothes, what they don't need and they will never use it. So companies producing a lot of clothes for every season. Of course, those clothes is mainly from plastic, which people don't buy, or if buy, they don't wear it. And why is that a problem? Because not like natural cotton or other natural material clothes, the plastic one will not disappear for a couple of 100 years from now. And they illegally sending those clothes, as you can see on the picture, the countries like Chile, and just throwing away those clothes, unused one, and making a waste mountain in the middle of the desert. Of course, those clothes were not disappearing from there, and lots of them ending in the ocean, which is very, very bad. So when you shopping clothes, don't doing this for fun. Doing when you really need a new clothes. And there is other alternative where you can find clothes, not just in a fast fashion boutiques. You can find quality clothes. Maybe those are a bit more expensive, but think about and choose quality over quantity. So if you can buy a good, for example, hiking boots, that will be hiking boots for 10, 15 years if you look after them. And you don't have to buy every second year. And in this way, you can reduce the production of the plastic. Also, other alternative ways to buy clothes is that in charity shops, it's lots of there, even with the tax on it, because people are just buying and they never using, and those people at least aware of that they haven't used, so they just giving to the charity shop so other ones can buy it it's support to good cause, actually three. First of all, you can be environmental friendly. Second of all, you can support a good cause through the charity. Third of all, you can find some good clothes in a very cheap price. Also, you can organize with your friends clothes exchange party. Then you can change. Maybe you got tired a couple of dress and you want a new one for a change. Then you can organize a party and you can exchange with your friends and use it as a new. So that's about fast fashion and clothes. So very important, buy only new clothes when you really need, not just for fun and fashion. Next big area in our life is the food and eating. I don't believe ultimate diet, so I don't think it's too polite and clever to say to anyone what they should eat or not eat. Everyone different, and everybody need different diet to make they feel good and healthy. So I would avoid to tell people what they should eat or not. But of course, we can politely suggest things and collect again information about how things works. So I picked this picture because this one with this beautiful cow representing the bad effect of food industry generally, and especially producing beef, mass production of beef. So first of all, to feed those beautiful animals, we need place. So it's lots of deforestation because of cows and other animals, mass industrial production. So the second one, we have to feed those animals. Again, we need food for that and need water for this. Water, again, apply to feed the animals. And in the cow wise, they also producing methane gas, and that's a big percentage of the methane gas in the world what they producing. So another bad effect on the environment, and also with their waste, they destroying the lands. So as you can see, it's 5 bad effect of the beef. If you want to eat beef regularly every day or every week, that's a cost. Big deforestation, using water and producing methane gas. So I wouldn't say to anyone, do not eat meat or do not eat beef, because that's not polite, and I don't want to say that. but you always can a bit reduce. So, for example, if you eat every day beef or meat, then thinking about, for example, my great-grandparents had a big farm and had animals as well, but they haven't eat every day meat. You know, they just had to reach out and cut the animal, and they could, but they didn't, because that's not healthy, and it wasn't good for an environment, and they knew that. So back in their days, they ate meat every week once, or even less, during celebration times like Christmas. So think about that. Why people nowadays eat 3 times a day and meat products, and how is that effect on their life? And if you in this group, how its effect on your health, and how is effect on the environment? Think about that, and if you open for it, you can try eat just once a day instead of 3, or once a week instead of eating every day. All right. So if you beware of those information and how affect your meat and beef eating on your health and the environment, you can rethink, and also how our ancestors act before this mass production. Then you can release yourself and enjoy more healthy food, more vegetables and fruits. But I wouldn't say stop eating meat. You can do that, keep doing. Just consider about the facts, how is this effect on your health and the environment. Also, I mentioned already, but I want to highlight again, when you eat vegetables, that's very good, and eat more vegetables. Perfect, super, especially if you want a protein, you can eat lentils and beans and peas, growing very fast in a very eco-friendly way, and it's very healthy for you and for every people in the earth. So, but mind about, as I mentioned, I'm not eating avocado because I'm at the moment in Hungary and we haven't got any avocado tree. It's coming from Brazil or the other end from Europe, and it causes a big eco footprint. So I don't want to eat them because I know what is the cost of it. I can eat lots of very good vegetables and fruits, which is grow in locally and seasonally, and I'm perfectly happy with them. So if you haven't tried that before or think that before, you might can consider about those facts and how is effect on the environment, even if you have a healthy diet. Think about how it's got in your plate. Maybe it's their journey is too long and it's not worth it. So, and when you're eating, just simplicity, just like in shopping or in general in life, is also applicable. So don't have to overthink eat simply and healthy, and you will be healthy, and our nature will be healthy too. Try to avoid from fast food because first of all, not healthy. Second of all, most of them packages, it's still plastic. So try to avoid those things and keep yourself and the environment in good shape. Let's go to the next slide. And our other most important area in life, in our home, our house, and how we can use more green awareness while we living in our home. So a couple of things which we can discuss here. First of all, especially now when the energy kind of crisis is upon us, about heating. If we're using a good installation in our home, that can prevent to use less or use more energy than we supposed to be. And also think about how people lived in just 50 years ago. They didn't heat it up their house for 25 degrees in the winter time because they didn't need it. It's 18 or 20 degrees, it was more than enough. Just like nowadays, it should be enough again. You can use blankets to cover yourself. You don't have to heat up the whole house because you need more warm. Then just cover yourself with the blanket, and this all done. Let's see the next one, an air conditioner on the summer. As unfortunately, our summers, it's warmer and warmer each year. And it's extreme heat. And we have to sort this problem out, but I don't think it's air conditioner solution. If, as you see in the picture, we can plant more trees around our house and again use good insulation and rollos on the windows and doors, then we can avoid to let the heat in our home. Also, just like in winter time, you can open the windows for 5-10 minutes each hour, or preferably in the winter time during the day, in the summertime in the evening, on the very early morning. You can open even for hours and let the fresh air in your home, but not on summertime, not during the day when it's 40 something degree out there, because then you're just letting in all the heat. So try to let in the fresh air in the evening or in the early morning time, and in the winter time the opposite, during the day and not in the evening time. So with those little tricks you can get the same comfort and fresh air in your home, but you will not melting or you will be not frozen. As I already mentioned, trees is very important to protect our home from overheat and also the wind, and they producing for us fresh air. Also, if you have a garden or even a balcony, or even if you haven't got balcony, you can put some box in the window and grow something, some flowers, or if you really got a balcony, you can even grow a tree, a small one. But if you got a garden, then as you can see in the picture, that is the kind of traditional way, or I can say the new tradition, before my great-grandparents, and that's the renew. So this after picture, as you can see, it's lots of trees, there is fruit tree, and lots of bushes and flowers, and that solves another problem, which you can save a couple of grocery shopping for yourself, and it's not tastier fruits and vegetables than which you grown in your garden. So I can highly recommend that even if you got a balcony box, just grow some tomatoes or wherever you wish, because that's fun and also eco-friendly and healthy. So try to grow something. If your garden will look like this, then you also have a lot of different bees in your garden, which is also very important to the environment, and also lots of nice birds. You can wake up for your singing. It's really nice and relaxing, the environment. So I highly recommend to plant trees and grow your own vegetables and fruits. I'm sure you can find a way, even if you hasn't got a balcony, you can do indoor as well. So just go for it, give it a try. Okay, and other important things in our house and home, how we can tidying up, how we can keep clean and healthy. So there is three main things: dishwashing, laundry, and cleaning, which I collected here. Each of them, it's important you think about how many different cleaning fluids you're using actually, because I think most of them, or my experience, it's most of the average consumer using way too many different products. However, we don't need only 3-4 tasks. So when you watching this lots of advertising and they just offering more and more different products for each little marks, and so we don't really need that. We can use simple eco-friendly cleaning products, preferably packaging in glass or alu. So again, simplicity is essential. Just think about how many different cleaning stuff you're using and review them. You really need them, or are they eco-friendly, or do your packages in eco-friendly? If not, you can searching away in your location and find the products which cover your cleaning and laundry and dishwashing in an eco-friendly way. a couple of tips might you already heard about those things, but just in case I want to share with you. So you can also use very simple products like sodium bicarbonate, and if you combining with lemons, you can cleaning a lot of things. Even you can add this sodium bicarbonate to your laundry, and you put in your washing machine while you washing white clothes. Also, mind about not just the chemicals what you're using, but also the sponge and then other cleaning stuff like mop and so on, what kind of material they made from. Okay, nowadays you can find wooden one and which using natural materials, and you can the next time you can choose those instead of the plastic one. Okay, and in this next topic, the beauty products. So again, choose what is good for you and what is good for the environment. As you can see in a picture, you can buy natural, made from natural materials, pretty much now with everything. So even toothbrush and everything, sponge, comb, everything you can buy from so natural material, and you don't have to buy anything which is made from plastic, which is but we don't need this anymore. Even now it's those are paper, it's not plastic anymore. But might you still can find places where it's plastic, just don't buy it. Okay, so and there is also shampoo and body lotion and shower gel and so on. Choose products which is good for you, so contains only natural ingredients, and also put in eco-friendly packages. Just like a moment of your time, I can show you, for example, that's a typical plastic product. Okay, so you can replace it with, for example, with the alu. So you don't have to change this. You just buy this once and you're just changing the inner stuff. Okay, so you can buy nowadays stuff like that again. May I say, and be more eco-friendly, so you don't have to buy any more plastic products. You can change with aluminum or glass packages. Aluminum it's very good because pretty much 100% recyclable, very easy to select and clean and reuse. So it's kind of ultimate product material. So I highly recommend to use, just like glass. So let's see the next one. Yeah, packages. Celebrations. The next big topic, Thank goodness we got a lot of celebration during the years, Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, anniversaries, celebrating with our families, with our friends. Very good thing. Just during those celebrations, those parties, beware about the consequences on the environment. So when you're planning a party or any other celebration, think about where you're planning, what the decoration made from, what kind of gift you giving, what kind of material you using for wrapping things. If there is perhaps drinks and foods, what you putting in, what kind of glasses you using, a plastic one, a paper one, or a glass, or a plates. It's what kind of material do they made for. So try to avoid plastic at all. Or if you already have plastic plates or cutlery, of course you don't have to throw away. That's not recommended at all. You can reuse, you can wash, you can reuse again. Try to keep them in good condition as long as possible. Because if you think about what you really need for a good celebration, is this all kind of things what you can buy, what you decorate? Not really. You need the people you love, and you want to share this experience with. Of course, you need love, smile, and laughter. And it's a good thing that's all free and eco-friendly. So focus on this when you're celebrating, and not that how many things, material things around you. And absolutely try to avoid using love balloon and stuff like that. Very plastic, very not good for environment. As you can see in the picture, those wrappings and packages 100% natural and beautiful. So you can change for this and using or even reusing things. My family, I driving my family crazy because I have the birthday pack, which is a completely natural bag, paper bag, and I give presents. If I'm buying some material present, I give for everyone in this, and then they have to return because I will use it again. So I have rules. I know it sounds crazy, but they accepted this because they know and they don't want to use plastic. So we can both think about the environment and stop using packages. And why is that important? Because as I mentioned in the beginning, you remember from the 400 million tons plastic production per year, it's 40% is packaged. So even when you buy gift and wrapping, think about, try to avoid plastic. And if you want to surprise your beloved, also you don't have to every time buy material things. You can just be there, or you can buy something, for example, a massage or whatever, them, so they can use it later, and it's completely eco-friendly. because haven't used any extra material. All right, so that was about celebrations. Now you can see how you can celebrate your events in an eco-friendly way, using natural stuff or reusable stuff. I believe that's our last slide. So let's see our last biggest topic in our everyday life. That's traveling. Of course, after lockdown, it's changed. Now we don't have to travel every day to work, or at least not all of us. But still, everyday travel to work, to school, it's a lot, require lots of travel still. And another group is business travel and holidays. So let's see first the everyday travel. As you can see the picture here, if 50,000 people want to travel in the morning, for example, then they have to use 175 meter wide card road, which is not good, because that means it's no place for trees. And it's much more cars, in my opinion, because usually the cars is not full. So, for example, in Budapest, it's just almost in one car is one person, and there is other 3-4 place is empty. So even I think it is even more cars. If you're going with bus, that's a bit narrower. It's 35 meters. So already you have place to plant a couple of trees, and we already discussed why is trees important. That we will discuss a little further soon. Also, the third option here, if you use a train or tram or metros, you need only 9 meters. So you can see the difference, how many more place to grow or plant trees. That means more fresh air, less heat, more happy people, more livable cities. So if you live in a big city, or even just a small one, but with the good public transport, then choose public transport instead of cars. I live in Budapest at the moment, and I grew up here, and I never owned a car, and I don't planning to buy any, because, for example, here I don't need, but even if then I lived in England in a smaller town, I could reach everything with public transport or bicycle. So I don't really need it. I could manage all my transportation without cars. So I can recommend, if you have a chance to avoid using car, just do it, especially if you live in a big town and you don't want to spend your morning and evening in a traffic jam, and then hard to find a parking place, and it's usually kind of expensive. So use public transport instead of cars. And even if you want to go further, you can use bicycle. I'm using it a lot. In Budapest, I'm using public transport and bicycle, and that's all. And I could go everywhere. So think about, you really need this car and use it, or maybe that's just a status thing, or it's too comfy. Think about, and if you can let go, just do it and don't worry. As you can see, if we, in another picture, if we have more place to grow trees, and why is that important? As you can see, numbers speaking, it's about half of the temperature with trees, without trees, and it's important because then you don't have to use air conditioner and keep the environment even safer and the air cleaner. I think one thing, yeah, I wanted to also say with travels, yeah, the holidays. I know it's a problem. It's train. It's much expensive at the moment than using plane. Hope will change soon. And lots of other things, as I mentioned, the alu things and the glass, those products which is packed in the eco-friendly package usually cost a little more. But as an economist, I can say to you, if people, citizens, you changing for a good and stop buying the cheap and the not eco-friendly things and changing for a little expensive but eco-friendly things, as I mentioned earlier, quality over quantity, then at least you don't have to spend more money than before. And if you keep buying and everybody keep buying the quality products over the mass products, then the quality product will become a mass product, but will be an eco-friendly mass product and will be cheaper than now. So don't give up, and you can always rearrange your budget and pick up some things which you don't need, and thinking about what you really need. And then you can find a way to switch to eco-friendly products and keep yourselves and the environment healthy. So while you're traveling, usually you have to drink, and I can show you what people usually buy during travels. Yes, this one. If you can see, that's a plastic bottle. Okay, so if that's filled with water, for producing this plastic bottle, they used 6 times of the water which is actually in it. So that's one of the reasons we won't use this anymore. For example, this product for me, it just not exist. I don't buy this anymore. So you can do the same, like 20 years or 30 years ago, everything was in glass, and we can bring back to the shop and they reused again. So say no for this, because it's probably ending up in the ocean. So what you can do instead of using this, using a bottle, okay, that's still plastic, but you can use not just one time or two, you can use for 5 years if you keep it in a good condition, or even more. And if you want to go further, again, you can use alu, which is last forever almost, and 100% recyclable. Okay, so that's about travel, and I think we went through all the main topic, which is important in everyday life. So I wanted to share now a couple of useful links. Just give me a second. So here we are. As you can see, first of all, I mentioned Sir David Attenborough, A Life on a Planet, shall I say, his masterpiece. I highly recommend to watch. You can search for and watch, because it's very, very important information in this documentary, and you can learn why it's important to think about the environment, because people will not survive this, but the nature will, and they will recover, but the people will not. So that's the important. While you're thinking you're saving the planet and the environment, you're really saving yourself and the humankind. So that's the important to think about the environment in everyday life and doing your little part, because that's making a big. Okay, so I highly recommend to watch this documentary film, very useful. And also I talk about the European Commission's green plan, strategy and the goals, and you can find the links here. And I just want to thank you for watching today this event, and I really hope you could gain some more relevant information about the environment protection, about plastic pollution, and why is that important to stop, and how you can actually do it in your everyday life, how you can go through the main part of your life and changing little things, which means a big to our environment. I really hope I could help you in this, but if you have any more questions, just feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help you if I can. I thank you again and wish you a healthy, long, and safe life. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.